hello, brother. And I walk off to my basement. My conversation. I try to keep it down in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Very. According to liberals, libertarians, people believe in God. People like to smoke. People like to drink ayahuasca. And DMT. Escapism is a motherfucker when it comes to the masses of asses. If you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast fest, you put it down below. You have any comments, questions, insults, or roast fest, you put it down below. As a matter of fact, let me see. I'm going to basically do this here. And I'm going to post down, this link to the stream. I've already sent out my information to the individuals. Okay, I'm gonna go here and get my Cash App and post it as well. Okay, put the ticker down there. Go to the comment section. I'm setting everything up now before I begin my conversation today. Now, okay, today's topic will be about many different multiple things as I usually go down the rabbit hole. Today, I'm going to talk about when bullying is cool and the cons of dating sites. Of course, I'm going to give you a little story when I had my experience, my personal experience when it comes to eHarmony and shit. But other than that, I'm also going to talk about other things too as well. The ego, seeking like minds, kindred versus soulmates, dangers of suicide, having too much money. Why aren't you afraid when you have a lot of money? And doxing dangers. A portion of this video, I got some of my info from my boy BMT, okay? And I listen to people's videos, and I'd like to talk about things what they did talk about, but I talk about it more in depth a little bit. Talk about multiple different subjects, but of course, let us begin, okay? I'm gonna try to talk about to half an hour. I'm gonna talk up to like half an hour, depending on my mood, okay? All right. So I'm gonna wait a little bit to see who's gonna pop up in here at about 5:30 because I made it very specific, very clear that I was gonna be 5:30. But if they don't want to pop up, it is totally fine with me. And of course, let's begin of why bullying is okay. Okay, let me see. And I'm gonna tell you a story about my experience on eHarmony to never fall for a female's picture or any picture, as a matter of fact, from anybody when you do dating sites and shit like that. But let's begin with talking about why bullying is cool. Okay, bullying is like this. Okay, you have a child. Let's say you have a child. Okay, follow me here. Please follow me. You have a child that's on the internet. This is why I'm about to take my wife's phone and Facebook and make sure they don't understand how to spread themselves thin by streaming. They have to be prepared to be attacked. Do you hear what I'm saying? You have your daughter on there, and she's only 13 years old. You know you're a parent, right? You know there's strangers out there, right? Your daughter doesn't know this. That means you have poor parenting skills because you're not protecting your child full circle. Okay? Like a lot of irresponsible parents out there. Lots of parents just shoo their kids off in school. Okay, like a lot of irresponsible parents, they don't have the capability of being quarantined, even though they have kids. But understand this: if you can't think like that, what if my child is on the internet? Then you deserve to be bullied on. You deserve to die. Okay, because I told you before, I'm a sadist. And I hear countless stories with people dying and killing themselves, but they knew this. I was told in advance people will attack you before I even started on YouTube, but it's fun to me. And I'm going to talk about doxing too, the dangers of doxing and all that stuff. I'm going to talk about cyberbullying. I'm going to talk about that too as well. To be really simple, all of it is trolling. People get swatted on the fucking Twitch. They get swatted by playing games and shit. Somebody take your personal information. But there are dangers to that. And you should already know that if you do such a thing, you will be caught. You will be caught eventually. They will investigate, and it may take up to 2 to 3 years to catch your ass. But someone cares about that individual to just do a thorough investigation. There's always cases open. Usually these cases take like about 2 to 3 years to catch your ass. You do doxing and shit, taking someone's personal information and fucking defamating their character. But please understand this. If you're a bully, you're cool in my book. Okay, I'm a troll. I'm a master troll. I bully on people only when they talk with a form of arrogance, like they you know, like they think they're better than everyone. But it's okay to talk like that as long as you're not attacking people. You can make fun of people, but if you do it on a daily basis, somebody's going to give you a little bit of your own medicine, right? So I hear people dying and stuff and killing themselves and shit, but please understand, people fake their own funk. They always fake their own death. Okay, please understand that they could be doing it for attention. They could be doing it to set up a fucking cash app. People do things in a very devious type of way. Peoples, you should know this. People do devious things. Like people say that Tupac ain't dead or Elvis Presley is not dead, but you know how much money they can make if they fake their fucking death and they basically say, "Oh, this person's dead. Please donate to my cause." You know how much many thousands of dollars they will get for doing that shit. This is the reason why bullying is cool. Because you shouldn't give a fuck who's on the other side because they know better in the first place. You try to fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you. Okay, all right? I got a couple hackers on my side. That's why I don't have to worry about shit. People can talk shit all they want. And then when they get this shit taken, it's okay. I'm always getting thrown off of fucking Facebook because I always win the battles. Zuckerberg don't like must have liked my ass, but I told you I put a spell on that shit, just like this Canary virus shit. I keep telling people all the time that sometimes attacking the wrong person can cause the whole world to go awry or array again. And then people start suffering and nobody don't know where the fuck it's coming from. That's because these motherfuckers are ignorant or magical folk. We ain't just humans on this planet now here. There's other species on this goddamn planet. Don't you agree? Please understand and wake the fuck up, you guys. But anyway, I digress here. Bullying is cool. So if you get on the internet, regardless if you put your daughter or not, you are expecting someone's feelings to get hurt. If you want to call me ugly and shit, that's cool. If you want to call me, I don't mind that type of shit. I feed off the negative energy. That's how you're supposed to be. So all of a sudden somebody is holding in all this anger and rage and shit like that. These are the type of individuals who are fakesters. And they know for a fact that they're being attacked every fucking day by putting their fucking face. But nobody does it to me. Why don't people, they call me names sometimes. People give me death threats sometimes, very rarely though, but I don't get enough of it. Because you know why? I always put in my introduction, I don't cater to the masses of asses, okay? You know, that's what I put down there, okay? I talk about some common sense shit. Don't put your fucking face on the Facebook. A lot of motherfuckers are hiding behind a fucking film. Well, you know that, right? The most pussiest motherfuckers are those ones who hide behind a picture and a letter. Their names start with a fucking Terrence or some shit and it's a T and that's it. Those are the most pussiest motherfuckers. They can't put a picture to what they're doing because they're trolled. So that's why I said to you guys, anyone who pops up in here, if I don't know you, you might not get a chance to get a spot in here because I don't know you. I have to literally get a chance to talk to you before I can actually post your video up with mine because I'm too special to be like having you troll me and you put some shit on there that gets my video taken down and some shit or a strike and some shit like that. I have no strikes on my YouTube. None of my YouTubes have any strikes because I'm pretty sure I'm thinking that YouTube likes me to a degree. I got over 300,000 views for all my videos combined, babies. Okay. But I've told you, as I said before, I'm not ambitious. I'm not looking for a lot of attention for these. It's kind of like satire, but it's really not type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want people to like, you know, get the wrong idea that I'm a real life serial killer. Okay? I don't want people to think that. But at the same time, I do in a sense because I'm arrogant in a way. You know, it's kind of like both sides of the fence. You know what I'm saying? I'm a magic in the voodoo. Nobody believes anything I say, right? Wink, wink. Then. Especially when I say I tell 13 women and shit. They don't want to hear that shit. Or I'll come to your house and blow your house up with magic smoke. But the people like to make fun. It's all fun and games until it actually fucking happens. But under the net, please understand bullying is cool. Especially if you've been attacked. You already been attacked. You know goddamn well once you put your goddamn face on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Patreon. It doesn't matter. Somebody's going to attack you. It doesn't matter if you're the nicest motherfucker. Somebody will say some sexual innuendo to hurt your feelings. Your titties are too big. One titty is bigger than the other. Boo hoo 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 hoo. Who gives a fuck about that? Who gives a fuck about a fucking bully? You know what I used to do? I'm gonna tell you a little story right here because I always got tons and tons of story. I remember I used to get picked on a lot, right? And I'm gonna tell you how I met my best friend. Okay? He's my business friend. You can say not a best friend, but you know, business friend. He helped me out financially, monetary gain and shit like that. So I used to get picked on PS28, and my mom put me in like ballet school and shit. and I would dance around and shit. But nobody made fun of me during those days. But when I was in the locker and shit, some kids, some boys, the other boys, would actually try to make fun of me or call me names and stuff like that. But they never really like put their hands on me or some shit like that. I mean, because of my face, I don't know, but they kept picking on me. So I got tired of it one day and I started talking back to them. And these guys are bigger than me. The most biggest pussies in the world are big people, naturally speaking. Okay, we should know this. You watch the Fight Club, that's based on actual events. Most people technically do not know how to fight. If you walk up to someone and say, "What's up? What's up? What's up?" and you got a lot of mouth and shit like that, they think you got a weapon. They'll back off. They'll back off. Trust me, I tested this shit and I'm telling you right now. But don't go into the hood with that shit because you might get killed. Okay? There's a difference between going out in the inner city, outer city. But if you go in the inner city, like the urban areas, the motherfuckers have to fight. They have to prove their self-worth, and especially with gangster shit. White people are not necessarily fighters. Technically, they're not fighters and shit. But other than that, as I got picked on while I was in ballet school, my mom put me in ballet school. I realized that if you talk loud, okay, and you have intentions to get your ass whipped, because me, I had intentions to get my ass whipped so I could tell the principal. But the kids was like, no, I'll fuck all. I would say, I'll fuck all you up because I know their names. I said, I know all of your names. You're gonna have to kill me up in this bitch. You gotta. It's the way you talk, and it's I have a big bite, but I had no intentions on fighting the best fight I could fight. My intentions was basically trying to find an object or something and get me at least the last hit on one person. So if I get fucked up, it's 3 against 1. I'm just like that person. If you tell on someone who fucks you up, they get in trouble and shit. They have to kill you. That's hard to kill motherfuckers in America. But anyway, as I was going through elementary school, I learned how to pick on bigger kids. That's why I don't. It's usually the bigger kids that pick on smaller kids, try to take your lunch and shit like that. But it's the way you talk and use psychology. If you can get into her head, like if I fall down step, I can remember your face. Okay. Okay. You got to remember their names. Okay. You got to know where they're at. That's the only problem. If you can just take a picture and you can tell who the fuck did it to you, and then basically you'll be okay. But you got to make sure you know their name and shit. And a lot of people would tell you, some people will actually tell you their name. Okay. They'll be like, that's Brian. Okay. And 2 people say, that's Brian. Say, I know your name is Brian. Yeah, so they just look it up. Tall, light skinned dude. Get this ass in trouble. But let me put it that way. As soon as I passed school and I passed with flying colors and picked on kids bigger than me, I was the bully and shit. I was a short motherfucker going after school. I said, you want to fight? There's one guy, there was one kid named Brian. He would try to punch me in my eye and shit. He actually caught me in my eye and shit. And I said, I was so mad at him that he punched me like sucker punch. The pussy's big. The bigger the pussy is, the more they sucker punch you. Remember that. I got sucker punched twice in my life and I didn't see, but luckily the second time I got hit, it didn't connect. Always stay your distance away from people. You talk your shit, always a distance away. And I wanted to go outside and fight him, even though he had punched me in my eye. He didn't want to fight me and shit. And I still told the principal he got in trouble. He got expelled from school and shit. I don't know what happened to his ass. But later on in life, he was a bum and shit. And then I realized that, damn, man, what the hell? He taught me a lesson and shit. Sometimes bullying can actually help people improve on their self-worth. Yes, it can. Bullying actually can help your self-worth. So let me tell you a story about how I met my business partner. My friend of mine that I knew for over 25, 30 years, the longest, oldest friend that I ever know in my life. I remember he was on the bus and people was throwing papers at him and shit. He sat by himself and shit, and so I'm like sitting around like he wasn't saying nothing to nobody. He was looking really upset. And this is how I met him and shit. True, honest to God shit. So I said, fuck this shit. I'm going to be his friend and shit. And even though I didn't know him from a can of paint, I wanted someone to throw a piece. I was just getting mad at motherfuckers. I knew who it was, okay? So I sat next to him, and they stopped throwing papers and shit at him. Simply just because I sat next to him. Because if a piece of paper hit me, oh my fucking God, I'm a fighter. I had fought bigger people than myself and actually won, and I was shocked. I went into berserk mode and shit, and they couldn't stop me. My hand, I can see everything in slow motion, so I try my best to tell people in advance I'm a professional fighter. McGraw type style. Mag McGraw or some shit. I'm like, for some reason, I have high level of reflexes, even against a black belt. And I've never been a black belt before. And somehow I get my hands around their neck. I don't know what it is. I got the spirit of fury around my ass. I don't know what it is. But we became friends ever since. But trust me on this. Bullying is very important for the masses of asses. And if you are basically not down with bullying people who deserve to be bullied on, that's up to you. It's up to you. But remember, If someone dies because of your bullying, you are going to be held responsible. But then again, you can't really be held responsible for things that you already told people in advance. Like listener's discretion is advised. I tell people these videos are not for the masses. But if you happen to listen to my video and I go tell you to kill yourself, I am not responsible for that. Because I'm a crazy schizo and shit. And they be looking, oh, he told me. No, 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 no. You chose to listen to my video. You listened to about 15 minutes of my garbage and shit, and you decided you wanted to kill yourself. No, no, it doesn't work that way. But I can understand if you got some little children on there and some adult is making fun of their looks, I feel it's strongly the parent's responsibility. And it shouldn't be the person who's bullying the child. I really believe that. I believe strongly that it should be basically not the bully's fault. It should be the parent's responsibility. Okay, so let's go on with the next subject. So this is why I say bullying is good. What's the next one? The pros and cons of dating. I'm gonna tell you about this little story. Okay, true story here. eHarmony type shit. Okay, and you know how eHarmony is. It's like fuck this shit. Okay, eHarmony don't even show the pictures of the women you're actually trying to talk to and shit, right? So we having a conversation for like a week or two and shit. This is when my blue pill days. This is when I was inexperienced about any type of female during those days, but I still wasn't getting no ass because I was super intelligent and my teeth was fucked up. And you know, I wear glasses and shit. These are not real dentures. These are not real teeth. These are dentures and shit. So I had to get my teeth removed and fixed after later on in my life. But I still was getting females talking to me, even when my teeth was kind of fucked up. But let me tell you this story here. I met this girl named Sonia or some shit on the internet. And next thing you know, I told her, I specifically put down shit. I swear to God, I put down specifics. You can't be over 130 pounds. Okay. And you can't be this height. You can't be this way. You got to be this way and shit like that. And during those days, I wasn't into like, that's only fucking virgins. I didn't give a fuck who the fuck I was with. But then I realized there's a pattern. And when I was asking females questions about virginity, because I told you before, I almost tried to commit suicide and that didn't happen. Okay, so I didn't commit suicide, and I started looking towards people only if they're a virgin. But this is way before my time now here. So I talked to this female. I didn't really care if she was a virgin or not. But basically, I figured that almost every female wasn't a virgin, but I didn't care. But most of my life, I had OCD. So long story short, I eventually wanted to meet her because she sounded like everything I wanted and shit. Everything I wanted, man. I couldn't see a picture of her and shit. And it's crazy, right? She even paid my way to actually go out there to New York City, y'all. Listen to this shit. She actually paid my way to go to New York City on the Greyhound bus, both fucking motherfucking ways, right? So she paid my way, and I didn't know what the fuck she looked like and shit like that. She told me that she coming out of this car to pick me up. Called her up, she picked me up, and then when I saw her, I was like, holy shit. She was like two or three of me. God damn it. I was like, God damn, I'm biting off. I promised her to take her to Red Lobster, but I said, no, I don't think I need to take her to Red Lobster compared to what I saw in her house afterward and shit. So she ended up taking me and shit. Okay, hold on. Somebody's texting me now here. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me go in here. I'm online right now. People are just be sleeping. Okay, let me see. Okay, I got all these people who already know I'm online. Okay, here we go. Online now. Okay. Okay, on live now. Okay, I gotta write it down. On live now. All right, he might not want to come on, but he'll see me later. But anyway, so I'm at her house and shit, right? And the next thing you know, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I better be nice to her because she ain't gonna pay my way back home and shit. Right? So I gotta be careful. No, I did. She did pay my way back home. I had to stay there for 3 days. Yes, yeah, that's what's correct. She paid for a ticket for me to stay for 2 to 3 days because I was thinking about knocking some boots back in those days. Okay, so the next thing you know, I'm like telling she invites me into her nice house. She had a nice house. I told you before, I'm not fooled by money. To me, money is a curse. It's a spell. Okay, so you're spellbound, bloodbound. Okay, you gotta watch the spell of magic. Okay? You gotta watch that money magic. So she takes me upstairs in her nice big ass house, and she takes me into the bathroom. I'm not fucking doing I'm not bumping no heads in the ugly. I'm thinking in my head like, holy shit. And she pointed to this bar in the fucking bathroom and shit, and she said, "This is what you're gonna have to take care of." In my head, snapped something. And then in my head, I was like, holy motherfucking shit. Did she just say that? Okay, after I could not see her, and I'm pretty sure my profile did say to her about no non. I'm going, yeah, I guess so. Okay, I might as well say I guess so, because I'm like, I'm not taking care of shit, okay, but I was just going along what she had to say, because she did pay my way to get there and back. And I thought, actually, I said, let me massage your back. Let me massage your back and shit so I can cool her down, because it's only going to be for 3 days and shit. But she said, nah, this is my bedroom. She had a nice house, man. She probably was making $30,000 to $40,000. But of course, long story short, now I'm going back downstairs. I was packing, okay, because as I said before, in my past, I was ex-gigoloer, a fetish gigoloer type, and I had things prepared like gamings and movies and shit. And this is before Netflix was out and shit, man. So next thing you know, she didn't want to do none of those movies. I had like 10 movies and fucking whole bunch of games to play. And I don't understand. See, women don't know when there's a good man in the house. But I'm gonna tell you this story before a reason. There's a purpose behind this fucking story, you guys. All right. So the next thing you know, she didn't want to do none of those things. I'm sitting downstairs on her couch, her luxurious couch, playing on her big screen and shit at that time. And I was happy for a while because I was playing Zelda and playing Resident Evil and shit and watching Predator and shit. And she didn't want to have no fun with me. So as I was sitting on the chair, one day I thought it was her sister who came through that door. She stormed through that motherfucking door and she was like, and I was like, oh shit, she had a key to the house and everything. Well, lucky for me, she was already downstairs and shit. And she walked right past me, went upstairs, came back down after a minute later, didn't even say hello to me. And the mother got so mad. She was like, wow, yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, shit, how dare you do that to my company? I was like, holy shit, the daughter was even bigger than her. The daughter was fucking bigger than her. And I'm like, holy motherfucking shit. Did the beast just come out of this bitch or something like that? I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ and shit. Wait, I was like, oh, she don't eat my ass. I would not make her upset if I was anybody. If I was living in her house, you would not want to make her fucking upset. Trust me on that, okay? Now, she came back into the house and said, yeah, hello, hi. She said, no, you don't say it that way. She was real specific. She said, you respect my company. Like I was going to stay there forever or some shit. That's what I'm trying to. I'm in New York and shit. I don't know what area in New York I was in. But anyway, she ended up saying, yeah, hello, how are you? And I'm saying, I'm doing okay. How are you? So she eventually left. Okay, as fast as she came, she left. And next thing you know, I was planning on fixing her some breakfast, trying to be nice and shit. So I look in the refrigerator, and the motherfucking food was falling out of the fucking refrigerator. I swear to God, I was like, holy shit, food, fucking scallops, the steaks and shit. I was like, that's why her ass is fucking fat. But her daughter was fatter though. Don't get me wrong, her daughter was bigger than the mother. I did not understand that type of logic and shit. And basically, I was like, damn, I started cooking her some food because I'm a chef, so I cook up some shit, right? So she said, yeah, you know, I cooked some scampies with some spaghetti and sauce and shit like that, and I was making stuff. When I throw concoctions together, that's a new recipe no one can ever create. Most of the time, it comes out perfectly fine because I taste the seasons before I put them in there. And then I marinate it, cook it, and sear it. I know all those words, okay? So she loved it. She was like, spaghetti. I was grilling the spaghetti a certain way, and I would saute. Come on, man. She loved it. She loved every little bit of it. Now, next thing you know, it was time for me to go to motherfucking home she was planning on taking me back, and then taking me back to the Greyhound so I can get my ass on the bus. But before I left, her mother called. And as her mother called, she started crying. Sonya started crying and shit. And then I was like wondering why she was crying. But then her mom said to me, I'm a psychic. I don't really believe in psychics, I said. But in my head, I'm thinking. So she basically was like, I predicted that you would come from a long way just to come meet my daughter. And she said, okay. And then I was like, yo. Okay, thank you. She said, I know you're a very beautiful person, very beautiful heart. Da 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 da. Okay? And I said, thank you very much. But my daughter didn't listen to me as she was growing up. And she ruined her life just because she wanted to do what she wanted to do. You know, which is sad. But I think she would have looked really nice. She had a nice face, but I'm not into the body thing. When you You shake it. Nah. You're not focused on your health. Lots of women are not focused on your health, especially black women these days. Okay. So I was happy that she complimented me, but she said that please understand and respect what I'm saying here. And I was like, I respect what she was saying, and I understand who you are. It's just that my daughter kind of messed up. And that was the end. So she did eventually take me back and shit. She was crying. I said, it's gonna be okay. It's okay. We still be cool and stuff. We communicate. Yeah. I know you may not be attracted to my daughter, da. But other than that, she eventually took me back to the Greyhound station, and I never heard from her again. And I wanted to try to talk to her, okay, but it didn't work out. Okay, it didn't really work out. But anyway, that's my terrible story. But the moral of the story is basically like this: never believe a picture for 1,000 words, because basically that could be an old ass picture that used to be her or some shit like that. Never believe it. Okay. And so when you get online, you have to make sure you make a current picture of your goddamn self. Never put a fake picture that you was cute like 10 years ago or some shit. Like a lot of females do some shit like that. I used to do some crazy shit, like put false pictures up there and shit, do some analyticals and shit to see how many women will gravitate towards the model type boys. But you know, I was shocked and fascinated at how much shit I learned. If you put yourself as really pretty as a pretty boy up on there, a lot of some females will actually frown on you and say you're not real, okay, and I'm like, and then I'll talk nasty and dirty to them, and they'll give me some play and shit. I said, what's your number so we can talk? So I actually talk to them, but they don't know how the fuck I'm doing a cat call and shit like that, and them bitches be falling for everything. I said, you gonna send me some money and shit, and them bitches, I never cheat people out of their shit though. I never cheat people out of their shit. But if she said what she said, she was gonna send me some money. I said, nah, I'm not trying to rob nobody, because I'm not trying to do that shit. You could rob a lot of women these days simply by lying and shit. You can do that, but you'll get caught. So that's why I say be careful if you want to goddamn do some crazy ass scamming shit like that. So let's get on with the next topic. My purpose here. Okay, somebody's sending me a friend request. I might as well put this on silence, because I get a lot of hits and shit, and people will start calling me while I'm doing my live out video feeds, which is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue talking about something else now. So I talked about the cons of dating. You really shouldn't be on dating sites, because these days women are mostly liars, and they're actually getting some sort of money. You can literally, in the dating sites, you can actually put your in code. You don't put Facebook. Facebook me and find me. You put FB, or you know how to find me at under my link name, okay? And they know how to find you. Them bitches can see your shit for free, okay? On eHarmony, you can't see nobody's face unless you pay, which I basically got my ass off there quick as hell. Women gonna have to start paying up for real services, okay? And you can't see a face. You can't see a current face, or no titties, or no video. You can't do nothing. So you got all this technology, but nobody know how to use the dating sites. You have to sell your self. I get enough hits on my day, all of the dating sites. I'm on eHarmony, Match.com. I'm on a list of different ones. I'm even on Black Crush. I'm on the fucking Pornhub, man. I make my own porn and shit. That's crazy, right? But the dating sites are really not exceptional. They're not really, because in foreign countries, they can't pay for their services because they're poor. They're poor in those countries. My wife, I didn't even have to send her no money, okay? She knew how to use the internet and get in touch with me and shit like that. So I paid the site so I can communicate with her, and she kept in touch with me for 4 years, 4 to 5 years, yes. And they have to know English, and they got to be a virgin. They got to be with both of their parents and shit. That's who I was. But let's talk about something else now here. The next subject we're going to talk about, always the ego and seeking like minds. It's very important to be solo in everything you do. Never trust nobody, because some people are not about your ego. They're about manipulating you and destroying you, like Samson and Delilah and shit, right? So you got these individuals out there who want to try to imitate who you are, copy your style and shit. No one can copy my style, right? Understand that shit. No one can copy my style because I'm original and shit. So you got to watch your ego. Your ego is what some people get jealous of, and they'll try to attack you or try to squeeze you or manipulate you and shit. Use dark psychology like they're your friends. And I tell people to always look for guys and people who are like-minded or a little bit more intelligent than you are, so you can relay your message clearly, okay? Very important to make sure you relay your message very clearly. And if you do that, you will find a lot of like minds. I only know very few individuals who think like myself. Very few individuals, but they're not really, I don't know them now. They're gone now. I had this girl who basically, her name is Tree and shit. She gave me a hellified dick sucking. Like I never wanted any more pussy no more. But we talk on the same different wavelengths. We talk for 2 or 3 hours. Joanne Bryant. If I don't know. I don't think she watches my shit anymore. She was taller than me. Okay, and we thought on the same wavelength. These are women. Okay, a lot of guys can't think on my path because they're simps and shit. But women know how to take advantage of weak men. So understand to let go your ego because we're living in a matrix system. So if you're living in a matrix system, you have to go into the darkness to find yourself rather than someone else trying to teach you about yourself. If you don't hear it in their voice, you don't have an ego. There's different levels of people who have problems in their lives and they are NPC players. So they can't think for themselves. They have to think in a different way. When they see something, everybody sees one thing in multiple ways, but the truest way to think is basically hearing the inner voice, your subconscious talking to you like, you think you're supposed to do this? If you hear nothing like that, you are not self-aware. Sorry. That's just my cup of tea. That's how I see it. Some people say, I don't hear a voice. I said, that's an NPC right there. That's a stuck mind. That's a motherfucking stuck mind there, okay? So the person can't think no further than that. So they're easily more likely to be a robot. You know what I'm saying? So the ego is about finding that inner voice within yourself, within the darkness of chaos. Because we're living in chaos. We're trapped in a prison planet, remember? Okay, if you can't leave at will, you're living in a prison planet. And if you follow in the masses of asses, you will be regurgitated. Okay. Now, what's the next subject now here? Okay. Okay. Seek like-minded, and I want people to understand what the kindred versus soulmate. So I'll repeat myself as much as possible. I want to write everything I wrote down here. I'm going to talk about. So I want to make sure I make myself very clear. Okay. Kindred versus soulmates. A kindred spirit is someone who is like-minded, like yourself. A soulmate is someone you make out to be. Please look up those terminologies. It's very clear what I'm saying, okay? Someone who thinks on the same wavelength. That is not a soulmate, okay? That is someone, basically a kindred spirit. And I was confused for a while about what those two words meant. Lots of people want to make up their little soulmate and shit like that. Like people, a lot of women say, I want him to be tall and da-da-da-da. Completely different from their own personalities and shit. So if you ask a female, how can you, what would you think if you basically had the opposite sex, right? You thought just like you. Could you deal with that type of shit, you guys? Could you deal with that type of shit? And that's I want to make a mental note here again. Anyone who's watching me, okay, and I know that number with the eyes at it says nobody's watching me. If you got anything to say, just make 3 dots if you're there, okay? Because sometimes that shit is all wrong. If you're watching me on live and shit, because you know I can talk, and most people can't talk like me. This is all unscripted now here. As I was saying before, if you know what a kindred spirit is, it's someone who's exactly like yourself. Lots of women make up their own soulmates. Okay, something misproportionate from themselves because they don't like themselves. Most people don't really like themselves. Ask that question. Start asking that questions. If you met someone just like yourself, 90%, most likely so, okay, would you love yourself in the mirror like that? Of course I would love myself because I'll always be speculative and asking questions out of the kazoo if I met someone like myself. I look like a pretty ass fucking dime piece. If I had hair and lipstick a little bit and that's all I needed and shit, I'll fuck myself 50,000 times because I'm healthy as fuck, right? But a lot of people can't think that way. So that's now you know the difference between a kindred spirit and a soulmate. The statistics show that I read, okay, which may have changed, that only 4% of the world's population actually meet their kindred spirit. As a matter of fact, there's more people who actually meet this themselves overseas rather than in countries fully developed like in America or any developed country elsewhere, okay? But if the country's poor, it's more likely they're going to meet their soulmate because there's not a lot of things to do over there. And you know how women's minds like to wonder if they don't have a man to have some simple things. Because more times when you got so much media and shit and so much shit to do, women gets distracted by those things. And why does it have to be women over men? Because men keep themselves busy with simple things. Women don't. Okay, women think on different levels and shit. We already know this. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus type shit. Even Steve Harvey don't know what the fuck he's talking about. 90% fucking tense. 90 fucking percent of the time that motherfucker crack jokes. He is not a true comedian to me. The crackers love him, okay? The crackers love Dave Chappelle and shit. I'm not a Dave Chappelle. You understand me, motherfuckers and shit. But anyway, let's go on with the next subject here. So we know what a kindred versus soulmate is. It's better to have a kindred spirit, but you know how some people just can't deal with themselves, so people make up a soulmate. Now, we also going to talk about, since I was talking about earlier about okay, the how bullying is cool. Okay. I'm also going to talk about the dangers of suicide. People kill themselves when they get to a point in their life where they can't handle. I was thinking like that when I was younger, but then I realized I started reading the Eastern philosophies and the esoteric knowledges, and I was like, what if you kill yourself, you become reincarnated? Okay, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get reincarnated in a lower spirit form. I want to suffer as much as I can so I can elevate myself higher. You see that chaos going into the darkness in order to elevate yourself individually rather than using escapism and shit. You understand what I'm saying here now here? Now, committing suicide has a lot of repercussions behind it. The possible repercussions are fucking endless. You can make up all sorts of goddamn things when it comes to suicide. Now, I remember there was a guy named Dr. Kevorkian over in fucking Russia and shit, right? And he would simply give a peaceful death to those individuals who was constantly feeling pain. You know, pains, you actually feel pain and shit every fucking day. That's a terrible fucking way of living. And of course, he would let them go off softly. That's different. If you're actually feeling pain fucking every day, I don't know what the other side had in store for you. If you just feel you've been suffering for over 10 years of pain and shit, you might have a beautiful life if you just get peace. Somebody put you to sleep earlier and made it painless. Okay, that was a beautiful thing. But he got in trouble, and you know that's against the law. Okay, so I'm just trying to say that suicide, like killing yourself because of your girlfriend or some shit like that, you lost money and shit like that. No, those are attachments that you must break free from. And as I said before about attachments, having attachments is a terrible fucking thing in this reality. Please understand that. If you want to change your makwa, okay, your shell, okay, you have to be doing meditations to fill that void, okay, and where you're gonna go when after you lose this body. Mine is a sphere. I'm a sphere. I'm a magnificent beam of light, and I won't be controlled by anything unless the other side is fucking evil as fuck, but you can't do nothing with yourself or some shit like that. That would be fucked up. If you get sucked up in a vacuum or some shit like that. That would be fucked up. But other than that, if you don't have a shell for yourself, then you could be lost. It's possible. We all are gods in this world. Everything and every little thing we see, we are all gods in this motherfucking realm, okay? And you have to learn how to meditate within the self by meditation. If you don't hear any voices, you're not there yet, okay? And if you can't go into the insanity project, which is isolation, you ain't there yet, okay? That's the lowest you can go by going into the darkness, focusing on rest, health, insurance, yourself. Because in your next life, you may be something you may not like at all because you're too focused on the attachment part of this fucking reality. Now, next subject again. Now, I talked about that as having too much money and why aren't you afraid? Now, having too much money, I said this time and time again to those who are the wealthy, give me your money so I can put it in the right place. Because if you have hordes and hordes of money and basically you don't know how to use it, I ain't asked for tens of thousands of dollars, okay? You give me a little bit of portion of money, I'm going to try to regurgitate that shit back to other guys who have the potential to blowing up. And basically, we all come together like kumbaya, and we focus on you because you helped one individual to help another individual because we are all psychologists, philosophers, doctors. We are all these types of things. I have my own degrees, which I can't speak of too much. I can speak of it. I went to school for psychology and a computer engineer. And also, I have my degree in architectural drafting, but I can't do nothing much with it because I haven't had the help in my past. Everybody needs something. That's why when people pop up on here, I put the Cash App. I think the white elephant can actually work. But you know, white people stick together more than black people do. Or you got to be infamous or famous or some kind of way for people to really like you or some shit like that. But please understand. Not your average man, okay? Not your Peter Pan. Okay? Having too much money is a bad thing. And when you have a lot of money, your next life, you may be poor in your next life. Then what? And you read in all religions, the rich will not make it to the kingdom of heaven. So kind of use common sense and kind of use karma dharma. The possibilities are endless. I'm not saying it's a fucking fact now here. I'm not saying it's a motherfucking fact. I'm just saying be open minded about it because you could be observed. Somebody could be observing you from the outside in. Have you been observing yourself from the outside in? If you haven't, we got a little problem there. If you're self conscious, right? Let me see if he actually got my message. Yeah, so he got my message. Now, of course, I'm supposed to have some people popping up on here, but of course, I'm going to talk about this last thing, and then I'm going to talk about a little bit of numerology to make this interesting because I'm in the mood today, the talking and shit. And if you're not afraid and you have a large sums of money, I kind of feel bad for your soul. Okay, I have pity for you. Don't feel pity for me. I don't want no pity money from nobody. I put down shit for a reason, and I have a cause. And if you give me too much, I'm going to send it back. Okay, because I don't know who you are. I know there's elite people out there who have enough money to give enough to one individual to actually change their fucking life. But of course, I'm not interested in luxurious cars or fucking mansions and shit. You got to understand that people who have those type of luxuries are not really pure-hearted. Okay, please understand that. Having Lamborghinis, okay, why you need a $500 Lamborghini, motherfucker? Please help me to understand where your spirituality is at. Okay, you should be very afraid. Okay? If you got all that money to buy 2 Lamborghinis, a 4-car garage, which you don't even use, you got a mansion in the house and shit like that. And then I'm like, your spirituality is all intact. Okay, and I'm like, Joe Osteen and TB Jakes, the motherfucker be buying jets and shit like that. And nobody, I'm not jealous of that, but I'm just trying to tell you, some things are just not worth to get, and all that money can be used for a better cause. But anyway, the last subject I want to talk about, okay, but I'm gonna stay on for a little bit because I think I'm supposed to have some entertainment. Some people are supposed to come up on here, right? All right, okay, so people are cowards and shit. They don't know how to pop up. They got distracted. That's the universe speaking. But let's continue on there. Doxing is dangerous. Swatting is dangerous because you will be caught. Countless times I see people playing on Twitch and people, even happens to white people too. I was like, yo, there's somebody that's busting in your house and shit, and they could have been killed. This one black guy, I remember a long time ago, somebody swatted him. He was just playing games, and he was in a black neighborhood. So the black SWATs come in, and they kill his ass. And I'm like, he was a well-known gamer, a black gamer. Okay, so white people can be real spiteful and do some crazy, heinous shit because they jealous or they just got no life. But you will be caught. Let's guarantee that shit. If you do doxing or swatting, okay, taking personal information, falsifying, defamation of someone's character, you will be caught. And sometimes you got to think like this: not all people you should be doxing. Like myself, you shouldn't be doing. You could take pictures of my face, but I have a magic spell over my face. So don't try to put no voodoo curses. That all backfire on your whole family. Then you get a fucking family fucking curse, and that I'm not responsible. I'm sorry, it's not me. Somebody watching over me. I don't know who the fuck it is. Okay, but please understand, I didn't come here without no protection from the other side. I'm not gonna come here. that's not my cup of tea. Okay, you put the spell on the wrong person, your ass is grass, and it could be a mistake, and that could cost you the rest of your life, maybe in your next life and some shit like that. But doxing and fucking, you put things on the wrong people, you will be caught. Don't give a fuck about your words. Don't do it. And if you haven't been taught, you will be taught in a spiritual sense. Because later on in your life be all fucked because of the fact that you wasn't taught. Okay. And then you suffer in your life, but you don't know why you're suffering. Because that's why it's called ignorance. Ignorance is motherfucking bliss, you guys. So I talked about multiple subjects, but I really want to talk about so many other things. I talked about all these things. And I talked about the pros and the cons of bullying, how it's cool. I talked about how people can learn from being bullied on. I talked about how people should not commit suicide or seppuku, the Chinese call it, because a lot of Oriental people and Caucasoid people are killing themselves. Men are particularly the bigger victims than women are. This is not the fucking medieval times where women are the victims. This is not the 1950s anymore where women are. They wasn't really the victims during those days either, okay? Because I was doing some research and I talked to a couple of racist people and white people, and they said that women were never the victims. It was only a handful of those women, Gloria Steinfeld and shit, who want to start a movement for their own cause. Okay? And those are ugly looking women who are basically wanting to be feminists and they wanted to feel equal. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some women who can play tennis. Like I saw this tennis match where this woman was playing the male, and that woman beat the shit out of this dude. I said, oh, there's some special occasions, sure. But in a conglomerate, men have more body mass. All right. Okay, so you gotta even it out, lightweight to lower weight or some shit. Please understand that if you keep it all balanced and shit, men could be possibly lose. But why don't they do that? If they want to, if women are so equal, why don't they just start exploiting that shit? Because men think differently than women, so they want to think differently from women. You got to actually create something like that. You could NBA. I always dreamed of the NBA versus the WNBA versus the NBA. But you know goddamn well they're going to take them tall motherfuckers out because men are most likely bigger than the women and shit. And there are some big women out there who can compete against some of the same size type guys, okay, but never on a scale where they beat them straight up, okay? Even if they had a whole bunch of short motherfuckers and shit, those women would lose their asshole, probably so. And on top of that, you go to the courts, you don't really see women on the court. You see men on the court, so you know how different that shit is. But that's what else we're going to talk about now. So we talked about all these things. On my next video, I want to talk about something unique here. Why the mana tree has fallen and why humanity only lives to the age of 100 years and less. I want to talk about that because I've talked about this before time and time again. I want people to know about this many places on this planet. The Devil's Tower, for example, where, or if you go to Arizona, you see these mountains that's completely cut, okay, and it's like somebody sawed it down or some shit like that. And I'll talk about that on my next video and shit. And why the mana tree fell. It's a great intergalactic story that everybody should be listening to. And also I want to talk about when to smack a hoe. I don't know if I talk. Somebody said, when did you smack a hoe? When do you smack your mother? Okay. When do you smack your fucking mother? Okay. But of course, I'll talk about that in the next video, plus some other little topics that I like to ramble my mouth on. Okay, and so I'm gonna try my guess again. You know, he saw my message now here. Okay, and see. Okay, let's see. I left a lot. You know, some people just didn't pop up in here. Maybe something came up, or maybe they became cowards at the time. But other than that, let me get the hell on out of here. So please understand, I'm not Yo Arse, man. I hope you like my fucking display and shit, because I thought some people would pop up, but they didn't. Things tend to pop up. Maybe you may put me on his show. Okay, I'm the Emerald Pillar King. You can also call me Matthias Knowledge and shit. It's okay. Or Mario Matthias. It doesn't. I'll go by many names. Okay, you follow me on my Facebook. Okay, I've already made myself very clear for about a years now. Okay. And if you don't know me by now, that's good, because the fact that the universe have not brought you to me yet. Okay, and I may sound cringy to most, but it's okay. That is my intention, okay? My channel is really not a fucking satire. It's a mixture of all the above, okay? So maybe sound a little satire. I'm a mixed bag. I'm abstract. The Renaissance man, the schizo man, okay? The man who has more knowledge than all the motherfuckers out there. Because they have a sense of personality and they don't. Peace. Same bad time, same bad channel. I usually try to do my videos between 5 and 6. Okay. Yeah, my nose sometimes itches because I get a lot of money and shit from the Holy Ghost. Okay, the Holy Ghost watches over me. Okay, so please understand, I try to do my videos before 6. But if I send you a message in advance and you don't pop up and you really want to be, that's the universe telling me that we are not compatible, but it's okay. So peace and love to you, brothers and sisters of land. Welcome to my page. And y'all have a nice day. So you can comment, questions, insults, or rush questions, put it down below. I'm your friendly neighborhood Sexologist. If you have any questions, you put it down below. Peace.